Well, now we've started.
Good.
No,
There
we
we go.
haven't.
I wonder if anyone will know
Dingus.
if that's a quote or not.
What?
What?
A quote?
Yeah.
A quote like
I
hello, ma'am. Usually, I assault anyone who even kind of looks at me weird, but your legs make my brain go awooga. Is that what you're thinking?
that's not the quote I had in mind, but
I'm sorry.
Zangief, your legs do not work on me, for I am homosexual.
I know the exact video you're talking about.
Sounds like Wreck-It Ralph, but I know it's not.
Very much not Wreck-It Ralph.
I just
You know what's
know
funny?
because Zangief was in.
Yeah,
I'm super lost because like I never even watched the first Wreck-It Ralph.
it's definitely not
It's
Wreck-It
not.
Ralph.
It's
So I have no context. It could be to me. I mean,
it's
Very
a
much.
it's a very short video about Street Fighter characters fighting. What's her name?
your
The
mom.
one with the legs. The whole video is about her legs.
Yeah.
Cammy?
Bayonetta.
No, it's the
Or the new one? The new
No.
Old one, like Street
super
Fighter
old one.
1 and 2.
She doesn't. She's got not Hadouken or Shoryuken, but she's got another
Unli?
slower.
Yes, that
Yeah.
yeah.
She's
It's a
got
video-
all the thighs.
Yeah, it's a video about her legs. There's every character is basically hitting on her the whole time. If I had to choose between you and America, I'd commit a second Pearl Harbor, if you know what I'm saying.
God damn.
But yeah, the last one is Zangief. They make gay, and his husband is Zangief Alt Skin 9.
Yeah.
So it's just two Zangiefs making it. Shall we celebrate with the Battle of Tonga? And then they smash faces.
By the smash.
I'm
face
pretty
is
sure that's a
connected
Dubas
to
Goobas
the-
video.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
It is.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love
just
Dubas
gonna-
Goobas.
I'm gonna put that in the thing for later for y'all.
I like yelling. I sure wish I'd be invited again. I had a wonderful time. And then she just kicks the tea out of his hand. Oh, good heavens. All right. Well, this is the podcast. We're here.
Is
We're off
it?
to a good start.
We're off to a good start.
Well, there's Minecraft.
What? What?
I saw the image of the Minecraft tutorial.
Oh, okay.
It's
All
the
right.
one that I remember from when I was a kid.
I had an opening planned, but considering I had to restart the podcast because Minecraft talk was going on, throw
Yeah,
that
you're
out the
welcome.
window.
It's funny.
I still
because we
forced
brought
it
it back
in.
to Minecraft too.
Yeah, that's the worst part about it.
So
fuck.
just ham fist your intro out there. Just get it
Yeah.
out. Do it live.
I already did. I forced it by saying quote. I was literally going to start with quoting that video. That was literally the whole point. I was just
Oh.
going to say the quote that I did. And then Wulfryk said the word quote. And I was like, I can save this.
So
That's all
Is
I
that my
did.
Doing
secret
some
word?
behind the scenes, Dusty is a little forgetful as a result of having suffered 3 brain aneurysms back to back to back when he was a child.
No, I just had undiagnosed ADHD for the first 26 years of my life, you know. 24. I'm 26 now, but you get it.
Did you actually get diagnosed?
Finally, yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, I've been actually diagnosed. The problem is I should have been diagnosed checks watched 18 years ago.
Literally at birth. Yeah.
Wait, and I don't mean to start down this rabbit hole, but the worst part is I had teachers pull my parents aside and be like, "We think he has this. You should get him tested." And their idea to fix it was, "We don't like school telling us what to do with our kid. Pull him out of school and homeschool him." So then I was homeschooled, and they
Yeah.
just acted like nothing was wrong.
I don't want to
Yeah.
interrupt you or ruin this
Tender moment.
conversation.
Yeah.
I just ordered Star Wars stickers and I got them today.
Yeah.
I'm looking through them. Guess who's in here that's not Star Wars?
Um,
Is it a Star Trek thing?
Indiana Jones.
No,
it's not like Captain Kirk or something. Like
no. Hint. It's your favorite movie.
Balto?
No,
RoboCop?
RoboCop is in here.
RoboCop is in Star Wars?
Yeah. There's like
don't
an art of
serve
a chibi
droids here.
RoboCop, and it's in my Star Wars stickers.
RoboCop was my favorite Star Wars character. His presence in the prequels was really powerful. It was weird when
The
they brought him
10-minute
back for the sequels, but
My
The
favorite
10-minute sex scene between him and Jar Jar Binks is a little weird.
my favorite Star Wars scene is when Luke is hanging with his hand cut off, lamenting the fact that the bad guy's his father, and then
Oh, here's the Iron Giant.
and Darth Vader looks to his left, and RoboCop's saying there. He pulls out his gun and says, "Your move, creep."
Oh, and Hellboy. Can't forget about Hellboy. He's here.
oh my
boy!
god.
In the words of
It's getting worse. That's not
Miyamoto,
even sci-fi.
everyone's here.
It's getting worse because Hellboy's not even sci-fi. The other two, you
Dude,
can make an argument for like a mistake. Those
It's
are
a pack of
sci-fi.
100 that was on Amazon. So
Well, that was your first mistake.
You should've. I'm shooting the messenger here. Fuck you, Amazon.
All right.
sorry for
I'm gonna speedrun this. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Collecting Dust podcast, where we talk about fucking games. Here we go.
Which we meant now.
Yep, that was it. That was it. That is, for anyone paying attention, an almost 7-minute intro. You're welcome.
yeah. You're welcome.
Hey,
I thought
we
we were just skirting past the
strive
intro.
to break records here,
We
okay?
do. We do. What's the dude? Perfect. We're coming for you.
Oh.
We're coming for you. I haven't stood up in 3 years, but I'm coming for you. I haven't left my chair in 3 years, but I'm gonna dunk better than you ever did.
You're like Dib from the Invader Zim movie where he's like literally fused to his chair.
You know,
More chair than man.
I give it 10 years, and you'll be at Walmart looking through the clearance section, and right next to the Mr. Beast stuff and the Dude Perfect stuff will be the Gaming Dusty stuff. In 10 years, I will be in the clearance section. Let's go.
Dude,
Could be
if we
actually
get
you.
anything into a main, if we manage to get anything onto a mainline shelf, I would consider my life complete.
The Collecting Dust Mega Block set.
Yeah.
We will never have Legos.
No, we're too controversial for
No,
Legos.
not even Mega Blocks. What's the other one? It's like
Make a construct.
no. It's the same company that makes like the fake Nerf guns and stuff. It's one company.
Oh god.
Busby.
Does Busby do?
No, it's like
Like a
N
Overclock?
something.
I don't know.
Oh, hold on.
Is it not like X Force?
X Force
Zuru?
is correctish. X Force.
Okay, who has a bag?
Sorry, that's the stickers.
How dare you?
I'm seeing if there's more non-Star Wars characters.
Sound guy over here flooding us with plastic bag noises.
It's images. This is very important
You know-
for the gaming podcast. Hold on.
Speaking of the like,
It's the
off-brand-
X shot. It's Zuru.
I was right.
yeah.
It was Zuru.
Yeah,
I
they
was right.
have a Lego and Mega Bloks brand as well.
Oh, that reminds me. Have you guys ever been like to the Aerospace Museum here?
It's been a while.
It's been a
Oh,
while.
I'm glad I'm not the only one then. Did you know that they had their own like Lego sets that were not Lego?
Doesn't surprise me.
Zuru Max. That's what they're called.
So they had these Legos. Not only did they fit together terribly, by the way, but the weirdest part about their minifigures, they had noses.
Oh.
They had a little nose ridge on these almost perfect cylinders. It's like, oh. And they were like olive green.
Huh.
Lot of weird design choices.
Hey, Fancy.
Yes.
I'm gonna derail this and force it onto another track. Be
Okay.
derailed. What
I've
games
been
have you been
derailed.
playing?
The finals. Fortnite. What else?
This ain't no
A lot of Mortal Kombat.
this ain't no free and open D&D sesh. I'm railroading us right now. We will go down my path and my path only. No creativity allowed.
Remnant 2.
Remnant. I have to.
Yeah.
I'm legally obligated. I'm sorry.
And there's Warhammer Space Marine 2.
Eelayne, what have you been playing?
I have been playing The Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind.
Uh-oh.
Hello?
Oh, she's not here.
What?
I'm here.
She's not in the thing anymore.
Where'd she go?
I hear her.
No, I
I'm
don't.
Here.
I hear her. Something's up with you two. She's here. The podcast.
I don't.
Yeah,
I don't
I'm
see
here-
her
I hear
letter
everybody.
on the
I'll re-
little in the corner. Whoa!
The
Oh, now I've lost. I've
Well,
lost
Dirk
Knight
just.
too.
I think Dirk just
Yeah.
like said he was going to rejoin.
yeah, Dirk straight up left. But yeah, the podcast can hear Eelayne. So like,
Oh,
Yeah, You might have to rejoin.
Well,
Okay.
Hello, unknown user.
Hi.
I can hear you.
Can you hear me
Now I
now,
can't
lad?
hear Dusty.
Uh,
what's going on?
no, I'm here. I was being
Dusty's
quiet.
here. Love's here.
Lad,
Everyone's here.
I could hear.
No, I don't
Dusty.
hear her.
So you have to.
Yeah,
leave.
you got to
It's
restart,
you.
lad.
I gotta leave and come back.
Yep, it's you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just reload the page.
Oh, I dropped something. I'll be right back.
Yeah, you did.
Just find another spot. I do
I do not have
enough
enough time. You better watch
Okay,
that.
did you
Technical
give me
difficulties.
and Dirk the same name in here, Dusty? That's gonna get confusing. I hope.
Oh,
you
I
know
didn't.
that.
I didn't mean to do that.
Why
Hold
am
on.
I a
didn't-
letter?
I didn't mean to do that.
I don't want to be a letter.
You were K. There we go.
I don't want to be a letter.
Here we go.
Hello.
Hello.
Are we finally all back yet? Are the technical?
Yeah, I think.
Why are we New York?
NYK,
New York.
New York Kitty.
Little Kitty Big City, game of the year.
Okay. So back to the games that I've been playing.
Yes.
I I have been playing Morrowind. I've been playing Remnant 2, Persona 5, and Dragon's Dogma 2. I've been absolutely fucking adoring Dragon's Dogma 2 and Morrowind.
Dragons, my balls across your face.
You never see
You will be in memory.
Wulfryk, what have you been playing?
Remnant.
Remnant.
You know,
Everybody's been playing Remnant because it's fun to play with friends.
it's my fault. I got you guys back into it because I was
You did.
on it again.
I'm happy.
Um,
I made a bleed build. It's funny.
What else have I been playing? I'm realizing I actually have not played a huge
Bro, I
amount of
forgot to
video
say
games.
a podcast game. That's another one.
That's
We've all been
Assumed.
playing Black. Yeah.
Chronos Before the Ashes, which is the prequel. Well, it's not a prequel. It's the
It's the first game
original
in the
first
series.
game.
Yeah.
Nightmare Cart. Atlas.
Nightmare.
If I played anything else, a little bit of Warframe, just like a
Warframe.
smidge. That's it.
Mine is very short list. I have done nothing but the finals.
And Black.
If I'm not the finalsing, then I'm trying to make things.
The finals is fun.
I love the final. That's depending on how people do their list. The finals is either a contender for game of the year or not because it released super late last year. It's December 7th. So a lot of a lot of other YouTube channels like Kind of Funny and stuff, they don't count it because that was last year. But the way I've always thought of it is the way like you ask anyone when it ends and starts. It's Jeff Keighley's show, which is usually in like November. So if you come out after the Game Awards, then you're available for the next Game Awards. So I don't know. It depends. Get the finals, if possible. That if not, Little Kitty Big City Game of the Year. Let's go. The two genders. So yeah, I think that's really it. It's just the finals, or I'm making things.
The two genders, Rick
Oh,
and
you know what?
Roll.
I'm just gonna sidetrack this real quick, just to put Wulfryk on a podcast saying things. Hey, Wulfryk.
Yeah.
I got model glue.
Yo.
Yeah, I got models. We can do.
I gotta get paint.
Yeah, I gotta. I'm thinking of just getting a USB extension cord, putting a camera out my window, so I can spray paint.
Yeah, I gotta honestly I gotta go back to the hobby shop and pick up a new master grade model. Because that last high grade that I built ended up kind of sucking.
I've got a 1977
Are you talking about the one
board
that you
pinner.
were gonna get at the?
Yeah.
Oh.
Coca-Cola edition. I could put Coca-Cola green glass in it if I wanted to.
You should Pepsi.
You're gonna
paint
be
it.
putting Pepsi
No.
Cola and a
Pepsi
Coca-Cola
Man.
Pepsi had white bottles.
Pepsi paint.
I know this because when I was little, I collected glass bottles. I'm a nerd. I'm weird.
Honestly, if soda still sold in glass bottles, it would go so hard.
Coke does.
It does.
I know they do, but
It's
like
Mexican
sometimes.
Coke.
It is Mexican Coke.
AKA, I love how we call it Mexican Coke. That's the world's Coke.
Yeah, America's like the only place
We're-
that we don't.
We're-
Do it.
America's the only place that has terrible Coke. Everything's better
Yeah.
in the glass bottles because just because it's from a glass bottle, but because it's all real sugar and shit.
Yeah.
Squirt from a can, pretty good. You have a squirt from a glass bottle, it's like, oh, I forgot how good squirt really is. I've forgotten how good 7-Up is.
You also are dealing with the fact that it's not in a plastic bottle, so there's probably less microplastics in it.
I don't know. Microplastics has been around so long; it's in everything already. We're just
No, yeah, that's true.
eating the same shit at this point.
We're 90% microplastic.
The news.
You're also made of dinosaur piss.
Man,
so
we're
it's also-
speed running tonight.
We are. We're speed running. You know why?
You got a hot date?
I mean, I do, but I don't have a date. He's just hot. No, I want to get on the other side of news, and then from there, our conversation can go wherever. I just like to try to get on the
Well,
other side of
I'm
news
ready for
first.
the news.
Well, fine. What do you want to talk about?
I want to talk about Hotline Miami 2
Oh, I saw that.
not existing in Australia anymore.
I was gonna say, what about the new? Is that not news? You fucking
No, something happened.
Did you just Google it?
no.
Why are you laughing?
But I don't want to talk about news. I want to talk about this thing that could be news.
It is new. I said I'm ready for the news.
Oh, I thought you said you didn't want to talk about news.
No.
All right. Well, so your headline is Hotline Miami, not in Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So great. Australia doesn't get to fix their own jets, and now they can't have Hotline Miami too. All right.
Truly a sad state of affairs.
Truly. All right. I'm just gonna. Oops.
I love oops.
And that. Oop,
I forgot to change the wheel, so it's just Pokemon ass Elon Pokemon. That's what the wheel
Oh
says.
yeah,
right now.
that's I remember last week.
So Miami. That's not how I spell Miami.
How did you spell Miami?
just work with it.
MAIAM.
Maybe.
Miami.
Mamie.
Maybe.
Mayam.
Welcome to Hotline Mamie.
I just put my ammo. All right, I'm giving up. Well, Wulfryk just started, so we'll go down the line. Fancy.
Damn straight I did.
The news.
Destiny 2 developer Bungie accused of stealing plot elements
Oh, wait,
for
hold on.
Red War.
Hold on.
Yep.
They're muted. Hold on. I can't hear 'em.
Why did you... What?
I'm sorry. Say it again.
Destiny 2 developer Bungie accused of stealing plot elements for Red War campaign and new launch.
Oh, I heard about this. Red War stolen. I heard about this, and from what not getting into it, but from what I hear, pretty credible.
It's pretty funny, is what it is.
Eelayne.
You're gonna have to hear this rant again.
No.
God.
Commander may be dead. We killed it.
Please, Wheel, do
That's
not pick
bad.
her.
I'm surprised that I thought for sure Wulfryk would go with the one that I'm going to go with. My headline is this: 343 pulls a 3-mile island.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, I'm aware. No, I'm painfully aware of things. I wanted to talk about news that didn't depress me greatly.
Them possibly restarting on hopefully a good foot is depressing.
It's not a good foot, and I can tell you why.
Well, we'll talk about it because as someone who's played every Halo just once, I don't know that much. I just know the basics. I've watched their video and stuff. I just like my title. It's pretty smart if you know anything about.
No,
the
it is a good title.
It's a good title.
You should be proud of it.
Thank you. We do a little editorialism around here.
I'm the bad voice in your head.
Oh. All right, we're gonna spin point.
I'll spin your wheel.
Give it to me. Hand
As long
it
as it's
over.
not her.
Your wheel.
Well, remember, we all get to talk. It's just whoever gets the wheel gets points. We get to hear the rant again.
Yeah, give me the wheel. So I can go a
No,
little
unfortunately for you, Fancy has finally been chosen by the wheel.
Oh, God, I won the wheel.
It only took 23 episodes, but Fancy was finally chosen in the new
The
segment.
wheel chose me for once.
For once.
You better have some good news.
There we go.
Man.
The Red War
You
stolen
know
will
this
be on the
story.
thumbnail.
I know the whole story. That's
Nobody
why
else.
you better tell it good.
Well, you
Why did
can
nobody
help
else join
with
me in clapping?
anything I miss, but
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
yes,
Okay.
I heard
guys
your
didn't join
clapping.
me in
I was
clapping.
very
I
pained.
appreciated the clapping.
It hurt.
I
It rubbed salt in my wounds. I feel like nobody loves me anymore.
actually love you too much.
Well,
Okay.
We have to
got a
break up
funny
because
way
of it.
putting it.
Joking.
Yeah, it's you're just too clingy. I'm sorry.
Women, am I right?
Wait.
Get off of me, god damn.
Oh.
I'm
All
a
right.
pious man.
Okay, let's hear Lad's news story.
Yeah, we let Lad win the wheel, and then we just didn't let him talk. How considerate of
right.
us.
Right.
Really?
He's used to it.
Oh, this isn't the person's from Louisiana, apparently.
Yes.
So apparently back in 2017, before Destiny 2 came out, someone under the pen name of Casper Cole, I'm not going to say their real name just in case, published a story on WordPress.
Mhm.
But you haven't heard that name in a while.
I haven't.
Anyway, they are suing Bungie for having similar story elements to their story, as in the original story that you can't play anymore, the Red War. Here's some quotes. Defendants have deliberately and intentionally copied the character's storyline and other protectable expressions from so-and-so's work in the infringing game. The author has never authorized or given consent for defendants to use their copyrighted works in the manner complained to herein. The suit essentially, Destiny has Dominus Gaul as the main bad guy during the Red War, and apparently in this person's story, there's a character named Overlord Ynera, and they apparently are very close in their descriptions. You see here.
Yeah, large outcast becoming a warlord is that's really something that no one ever did before.
The name the Red Legion apparently is in this man's story. Detail the rise of a young and ambitious alien with the intent of dividing and conquering Earth in order to gain strategic assets. Their quote is, "The creators of Destiny 2 did not independently create their version of the Red Legion, but instead have wrongfully copied the author's original creation."
Honestly, if this guy wins, it'll be the funniest thing ever to me, and it will open the floodgates to so many lawsuits.
Yes.
Yeah, because I can't believe if this is like credible, I would not believe that Bungie is the only company to do this.
Even if it's not credible, if he wins, then like it doesn't matter if the law proves
I don't
him
assume
right.
that he would win without like good proof.
You never know when it comes to video games anymore.
A
Well, I
lot
guess
of
it's fair.
games do steal other art, but usually it's like paintings or textures or something.
Yeah.
So it's
Mhm.
like, oh, we were found out, and then you just like say, oh, it was an accident that was supposed to be a temporary piece, and then you just replace it. But when it's an entire story campaign that is cemented into the lore of your multi-game universe now, it's a little hard to be like, oh, that was an accident. We didn't mean to do that.
It's really hard to do that with the story too, just like
Yeah.
in general.
Well, the funny thing to me is this also means this also presents the idea that Bungie's writers were just trawling through WordPress, found this guy's story, and said, "Holy shit, that is so good. We need all of that."
yeah.
They looked at this independent pseudonym using writer and said, I'm going to copy their homework.
All I can say is it still could have been worse.
Yeah.
They could have stolen a story from Wattpad.
Oh, man. Honestly, again, if it turns out to be true, it will be the funniest thing to ever happen. Like, recently, when it comes to video game ridiculousness.
I just feel like Sony is an evil company. Like they're fully back into their PS3 era evil.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I kind of feel bad for them because they fucking bought Sony or Bungie. Since
Yeah,
that
they
day.
thought Bungie was going to be a moneymaker, and Bungie has done nothing but cost them
Bungie-
at every turn.
Bungie comes in, tells them all of your live service games are trash. Most of them aren't savable without tons of money. Also, do you realize how much work it takes to run one of these? Whatever company does release one, they'll never make another project that isn't this game again. So then Naughty Dog cancels there because they're like, but we want to make Last of Us 3. And then they go on, and it turns out they don't make money. They haven't in a long time. They lied about how much they actually were making. They were going to go under if somebody didn't buy them. And now it's like, oh, by the way, we're being sued because we may have stolen the entire story of the second game. The first part of it. The launch version, we might have stolen that.
What if that
is
was
honestly
the actual
karmic.
reason? What if, like, the reason they actually started sunsetting story stuff was because they'd been stealing it the whole time?
Oh my, we need to start looking at the witch, whatever the fuck. We gotta look at all of it.
Well, you know, it's funny too.
Look
It's
up
like,
WordPress, look into Wattpad, find your Destiny stories.
This is almost karmic when it comes to Sony being on the receiving end of all this monetary trouble from Bungie. This is karmic. But Sony deserves this.
Apparently, this person was writing in 2013 and 2014, which is around when the first game was.
Yeah, that's before even Call of Duty said, "Let's steal Destiny's mechanics."
Hmm.
That's Ghost and Advanced Warfare time.
The correct and best time of Call of Duty.
I don't know. I think Call of Duty was good all the way up until
Oh,
basically
Bungie
KOTOR.
also hasn't commented on the lawsuit.
Of course, what they would.
Yeah, what do
every
you-
single lawyer
I was
owned
I
by
was about
Sony
to say.
is like, don't say a fucking thing.
Yeah, every lawyer is probably breathing down their neck like, if you say anything, we are losing this case.
If you so as fart and it sounds like the word Destiny, we're going to quit. We will not
You know,
continue.
that just makes me think of the Pocket Pair and the Nintendo lawsuit, because Pocket Pair has been like, they haven't told us what patent. We're just gonna keep working on our game. Sorry that it's gonna slow down a little, because now we got to devote people to figuring out what this is. But
Yeah.
So now, the question is Bungie going to be paying their lawyers in bright dust or silver?
oh, so mean.
Does this count as a
Bright Dust only
legendary
works in the
raid, or-
weekly shop. They can't use that.
I mean,
It's got to be silver.
you'd
Yeah, but
think,
it's like
but
it's like a $10 worth of silver. You can get like an emote. Maybe
you
an
get
armor
like
set.
a seasonal skin, maybe.
All right. Let's get this out of the way. Eelayne, your rant.
You could not run from your failure. Where did that bring you? Back to me.
All right, I'm gonna take a nap.
Oh. Okay. So I'll run through this quickly. The Rules Committee of Magic the Gathering's Commander Sect, which is the game mode that I primarily play, banned 3 cards that were pretty reasonable in the basis of the Rules Committee can ban cards that are prevalent and cards that just like shift the whole meta. And 2 of these cards were that way. It was Jeweled Lotus and Mana Vault or Mana Crypt. Mana Crypt, I think it is.
Mana Crypt.
Either way, all of these were extremely fast, strong start cards. And Commander, for a while in its like competitive scene, was having a big issue of being, or maybe not a big issue of being really fast, but it was like Commander was starting to get really fast. And the Rules Committee wanted to put the kibosh on that because it's supposed to be a fun, casual format. But when they banned these cards, they did not anticipate the amount of finance bros being upset that their card might lose value because of the ban. And that because of these cards being super prevalent, they had already bought like 5 or 6 copies, one for each deck of individual cards. And mind you, these cards are like $50. So people got really, really mad. And I, to a certain degree, I understand. But I don't really understand how they got so mad to the point to where they were sending like death threats and stuff to the individual members of the Rules Committee, to the point where we've failed as a community. The Rules Committee stepped down and they handed the keys to Wizards of the Coast, who has a profit incentive when it comes to this ban list, which is something I really want to nail home here. The Rules Committee was volunteers. They were doing things because they love Commander and because they wanted Commander to be a healthier format. Even if they did make some mistakes, my gosh, bullying them for it. But like Wizards of the Coast, I have no faith in doing a good job with this. I fully believe that if Wizards of the Coast chooses to do a whole bunch, Commander will die as a format, or at least the Commander that I love. But yeah, that is my news. Magic the Gathering's best format might get a lot worse.
These people. First off, I'm gonna go with I'm so sorry. It's this news being here is my fault.
Yeah.
Last episode, I did the I did the card game Cards Against Humanity, which makes this news allowed to be here. I'm so sorry. It's my fault.
Yeah.
And-
Well, technically, there are Magic video games. I
That
just
is true.
don't
Arena's
necessarily
a thing.
play them.
Oh, love, you got to play the Mists of Chandalar one. I think that's what it's called.
Is that what
That
is it?
one's super old. It is single player, and it's like a MTG RPG.
Oh, so it's like one of the Yu-Gi-Oh games.
Yeah,
Acronyms.
Oh, okay. You know what? Actually, that sounds like I would play it.
it's
Because
super
it's like-
Mists
old,
of
though.
Chandelier.
The only big problem
Glimmer.
I have with games like MTG
Welcome
Arena
to
is
Glimmer.
the same issue with like buying games digitally versus buying them physically. Where it's like I buy the card in the game, but I don't like actually have the card. I can only play it in the online game, and I much prefer sitting at a table with a bunch of friends to playing against somebody who I just physically cannot interact with.
Is that your door?
No, that's my fucking phone. It sounds
That way
like a
you
door.
can't reach across the table to beat the shit out of them when they play a
Exactly. Well, I like playing online. It's just like somebody who's my friend, you know. I don't mind playing online against my friends. That's fun. That's why I have programs like Cockatrice. And
You can't say that.
like Cockatrice. Diet
Well,
Coke.
we're banned now.
Cox.
Is it my turn?
No, because
I'm handing
I
it to
said
you.
I had two things to say, and then I got cut off after the first one.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And the second thing is, I can tell none of these people play online shooters because
Oh yeah,
if they
because the
did,
lobbies. Yeah.
well, no, if they did, then they would be very used to company releasing new thing that's very good, sell it to as many people as possible, nerf it a month later.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the worst part is like imagine if you had to pay like real money for the guns,
Modern Warfare 2's Doom shotgun, anyone?
Oh,
and they were like
God.
$50 a pop, and you had to buy
Boot up,
them
boot
per,
up, boot up, boot up, boot up.
per loadout. But it's like even at that, there's a certain level of this where it's like the rules committee did not have like to take into account people's finances for this. That was never a thing that they were taking into account.
Yeah, no, and I would argue that they shouldn't. It's people.
I would say the same.
because they spent all their money on stupid cards. That's I'm just gonna keep it. I'm just gonna say that they spent their money on stupid fucking cards.
I would urge
It's your
people to
fault.
think about like unless a card is like just a healthy for the format kind of card like Soul Ring, where it's like kind of harmless.
I've got one of those.
There are like there's something to think about. Like when there's like a $50 card that is prevalent, then it might be worth a nerf. Because why else would anybody spend $50 on a card if it wasn't really, really, really good?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Well, it's I also think I have a soul ring. I think I got it from the gay secret lair that I have.
Especially considering Mana Crypt and Jeweled Lotus were in every deck because they are colorless. So there was not a single deck that didn't benefit from having them in it. They were just everywhere. If you were playing in like a higher level bracket, they were in every deck.
You know what's more? You know what's gonna be way stronger than any of those $50 cards?
Huh.
My Thopters.
Mm.
Yeah.
Thopter deck. Thopter deck. Dude,
I
that makes me
threatened
think
to, and my boyfriend basically said he would leave me.
there's a legendary
Damn.
Thopter that you can make your commander. I'm gonna ruin your relationship for you.
Legendary Thopter.
I don't remember
confirmed.
what his name is, but he's a legendary 1/1 Thopter with flying. Yeah, he is a legendary 1/1.
You know, that
Thopter
makes him
with
more
flying.
powerful than any other regular Thopter.
Let me look it up real quick. Because I really want to ruin your relationship.
Oh, wow. I'm gonna ruin my friendships when I get my all angel deck built.
No, yeah, it's over.
Where is he? Hope of Girper. He's a 1-drop 1/1 legendary Thopter. He's got flying, and you can sacrifice him to until your next turn. Target player who is dealt combat damage by Hope of Girper can't cast non-creature spells. So he's really ass. He's also not the only legendary Thopter, but he is the funniest.
Wait.
There's another one. His name is Liberator Urza's Battle Thopter. He's a 1/2 with flash, flying, and you may cast colorless spells and artifact spells as though they had flash.
Can I just
a
get
3-drop.
you to confirm something real quick for me?
Oh, sure. What do you need?
Did you say that if you can sack him after dealing combat damage for if someone took combat damage from him this turn, they cannot play a non-creature spell next turn? Like until your next turn?
Yeah, until your next turn. Yeah.
So that means no instance, no sorceries, no
No
mana.
dick, no balls, and probably no butthole since this dude eats all. Yeah, nothing but creatures. So if you're fighting somebody who has like what's his name? The Ovica. If you're fighting somebody with an Ovica deck or a Narset deck, they're just gonna be sitting there like, well, guess I can't do literally fucking anything.
Good.
Wulfryk, it is your time to share your news.
Yo. Yeah. So, fun fact: Hotline Miami 2 never supposed to release in Australia.
It was
wasn't.
never meant to.
Yeah. So
It was banned.
it was banned over there because of its rating.
They do that there?
Yeah. So
I forgot
It's-
about that. I don't want to move there anymore.
people purchased it for over a year now from when it released on the PS5.
Yep.
Because it launched last year. And for some reason, someone at Sony finally said, oh, hey, wait a minute. That's not supposed to be there. And it is this is also proof of like how much we don't own shit anymore. People are getting onto their PlayStations to find the game is deleted.
Aren't they getting refunds?
They are getting refunds, but the game is being deleted.
Oh, wait,
Just
I have
by-
to ask, are the refunds in like going to their store? Like they're not getting direct deposited back.
That I don't know.
I'm sure it's probably just in-store money.
Um,
But I see what you're saying, though. It's scary that it's just deleted.
yeah. I mean, just
Yeah.
by virtue of having the console connected to the internet, they could pull any game off of your hard drive.
That's also fucking awful to think about. Imagine if they'd done that with what's the name of the game that was supposed to be like a it was a horror game and never released.
PT?
PT, yeah. They would imagine if they did that with fucking PT. Like there would be zero way of ever playing PT again if they had done the same thing with that.
Yeah. Well, that was outside of their reach back then.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Well,
it's not
we don't fully know that, but we just know that they didn't have any interest in doing that.
It doesn't seem like they banned that many games, actually.
No.
Apparently, Hotline Miami 2.
Yes, for instance, there was a time between 2007 and 2022 where nothing was banned.
Nice.
So
Um,
why are they banning games? Like, what is the specific thing that is making these games bannable?
It
That's
just
the
seems like it's super, super graphic. Like,
Well, why would they ban the second one, not the first one?
The first one might be banned. The reason like it's a big like thing is because it accidentally released there for a year. People have been owning and purchasing and playing this game since last year. And it's
I really don't like
just
the
now
idea of
being-
banning games, though. That's a really dumb law.
So do I. Especially since
Like-
all of these fucking games are fucking adult games.
Yeah.
Like
Adults aren't allowed to have video games,
just
Dusty.
rate them high enough. And
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking-
And if parents buy it for their kid, it's on the fucking parents.
yes. I'm sorry if your kid if some children were bought in Wasteland 3 for Christmas, all right? Blade
That's
Runner
oddly
Enhanced
specific.
Edition. Well, I'm listing actual games. Wasteland 3 is banned. A classic banned game, South Park, Stick of Truth,
Really?
Saints Row 4. State of Decay is banned in what?
That game sucks anyway, so
The Witcher
honestly,
2
Australia is
banned.
being
The
saved.
Witcher. That's
The-
actually
The
that's
Witcher
fucking
The
2.
Witcher 2 is
horrendous.
banned.
That's
Banned
That's
because of
horrendous.
sexuality and nudity in relation to incentives and rewards. You're rewarded for sex. Ban the game.
Yes. Well, because sex is good. You should be rewarded for sex. I wish more games would do that shit.
There's a version in Australia. A lot of these they have a Australian version of, and this one is all of those mini games are immediately failed. You turn down all the sex.
That's fucking
Automatically.
awful.
That's it.
that's
You know what's funny though
hilarious.
is I imagine the funniest way they could do this is like when those scenes arrive, they Australianize them. So they're like, oh, I can't, sorry, can't do that. It's like
No,
was
in
Stick
the
of Truth?
Australian lore of The Witcher, he's wearing a chastity belt.
it's wearing a cage.
South Park was banned due to sexual violence involving minors.
Well, yeah, they're
Well,
kids.
Yeah, that's the
South Park.
point. Australia, the point is whatever happens to these kids is bad. That's always been the point. The kids in South Park are not good.
If I
They're
remember
all
right,
bad.
in the first one, you have to fight Catholic priests.
Yeah.
Those censored scenes involved
The
the
Stick of Truth
underage
is
main
pretty
character
honest.
getting anally probed by aliens,
Oh, yeah,
giving
that
in an
too.
abortion and receiving one. Those are
Receiving.
the two reasons.
You can play as a female.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah.
In the Australian version, those scenes have been censored with a card of a koala crying, explaining what has been cut.
Koala crying.
Why?
That's
Hold
funny.
on. Why was? So everything seems to be sexual. Hotline Miami 2 was banned due to a scene of sexual violence.
Wait, hold
Not the
on.
gore?
If
Yeah.
there's a lot of games that are banned from sexuality, check Cyberpunk, because Cyberpunk has sex scenes, like almost pretty graphic.
Cyberpunk
ones.
is not on the list.
Okay.
But I agree with you. Well, actually, no, because here's the thing: it's a bunch of sex
You
stuff.
can toggle all the nudity.
Well, see, that's
Yeah,
the
I
thing.
guess, but
Is all of it is like sexual assault stuff.
Oh.
For instance, where was it? One of the Silent Hills were banned. Silent Hill Homecoming was banned due to a high impact torture scene, which involved drilling into body parts. Where did I read the game was? Oh, Saints Row 4 was banned due to implied sexual violence and drug use, which gave the player rewards. So it most of them are you did a really bad thing and the game awarded you for it.
yeah, but The Witcher does. I don't think The Witcher has like rewarding the player for raping characters or anything like that.
Banned because of sexual and nudity in relation to incentive and rewards. So apparently,
There's probably someone who like pays you with sex or something
Yeah.
in it.
Maybe, I don't know.
yeah.
This
All the stuff in Cyberpunk is implied. Like there is a raping, but it's off scene, and you
Yeah.
find them afterwards. You talk to a really disgusting
Oh,
doctor.
yeah. There's
but
there's
like,
also
you don't
probably a
actually
lot
see
of rape
anything.
because you look at like Judy's quest line.
That's who I was talking about. The lady that you find.
Yeah,
Evelyn.
Yeah, yeah.
Evelyn.
What happened to
especially.
Evelyn? Yeah. Like, but all of it is off screen. You don't see any of that specifically. All the sex on screen is you walked up and you paid a joy toy, and then you fuck, and then you don't get anything for it except for you lost some money and you got to see some sex.
Yep.
Well, also, lore-wise, most joy toys aren't like willingly prostitutes, so there is something to be said about how this is kind of, fucked up, but or maybe not all joy toys aren't willingly
Yeah,
prostitutes, but a lot of them seem to not actually want to be
it's one of those things where, just like in real life, there's people who take care of them and then the ones who don't.
Yeah.
Like it seems like when you, even from Evelyn, it seems like for the most part her experience was okay. It's just
Yeah.
at the end there she got talking to the wrong people.
Well, I think it was because the Tiger Claws took over that place, right? And the Tiger Claws are just terrible.
It's part of it. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, they do ban games, Australia, but it seems to be they banned Blitz the League. Or
Which game is that?
Blitz the League is a football game that is made to it's made to be like a or not a sitcom.
Like a parody?
It's made to be like one of those shows that actually shows you what's kind of going on in the background while also being funny.
Reality show?
Yeah, so it's supposed to be like a reality show about football. And you, like, in between games and stuff, you take drugs and shit. But that's the thing, is it's fucking football. That happens. It's supposed to be like this is somewhat realistic. And it was banned because of drug use in relation to insensitive awards. It's like, yeah, it's a fucking football game. It's American football. I don't know what you were fucking expecting.
You know what this makes me think of?
Bless
I worry about like Fallout because there is incentive to take drugs in Fallout. Like a lot of the character messaging is like drugs bad, but like you genuinely get stat increases by taking drugs.
What? BMX XXX banned because of high impact sexual references. It's just a bunch of naked people on some bikes.
Yeah.
High impact.
Have you ever seen bikes? Those things are high impact.
Oh, 2 triangles and some wheels.
Yeah, man.
Is it like furry where it's like no clothes, not hot, more clothes, hot? It's like naked woman, non-high impact. Bicycle, high impact.
I mean, narrow seat, hard landings, naked, you know. You don't know. It's okay.
They tried to ban Postal 4. It didn't work.
Funny.
Disco Elysium Final Cut, The Medium. Okay, so it seems like they're trying all the time. Katana Zero, DayZ, We Happy Few, Outlast 2.
What?
The first Hotline Miami was overturned. The first one is allowed.
This is why we should make politicians not feel comfortable trying to invade our personal lives.
No, Hun, I'm sorry. I don't want to move here anymore. I don't want to fucking Duke Nukem 3D overturned.
But like, it's funny to me with Postal. I actually heavily expected to see Postal in that list.
Postal 1, 2, and 4 were overturned.
Not Postal
What about
3
3?
though.
Postal 3 though, that was bad enough. Sexy Poker was overturned. Sexy Poker is allowed, but BMX XXX. You know what?
Oh, this is making me fucking depressed. Let's
You know,
move on.
you know,
it's
you know what is
so
worse
funny.
than an actual mini game meant to be as addictive as possible? Naked women BMX bike. Way worse.
Yeah, I mean, sounds right to me.
Naked women and addiction. That's better. than naked women.
This
on
shit's
bikes.
gonna make me a nationalist, honestly.
Australia, I was on your side, and now I'm not.
Yeah.
I've known they
This is the kind
banned
of shit that
games,
radicalizes people.
but now I'm like, I don't get why they ban games. I don't get it. All of these seem pretty dumb to me. Especially since all you have to do is like throw an A on them and just make it like you have to be 21.
Yeah.
That's all you'd have to do. Throw an A on it. Be like, no, if you need to be fucking drinking age to buy this. Well, I guess that's a problem in Australia. It's like 18 is drinking age.
Upside down fucks don't even know how to play video games, right?
You know what is worse than adults buying naked women on bikes on the PS2? You know what is less worse than that? 18-year-olds being drunk. Way better for
Alcoholism's
society.
in vogue, man.
Way better for
Well,
society.
I will say it is really based to let people drink at 18. Especially since here in the United States, you could go to war, but you can't drink liquor.
Well,
that's fucking stupid.
I will say, Dusty, if because a lot of people use like the brain fully formed argument. Did you know that the idea that your brain fully forms in your mid-20s is based on the fact that they stop checking after your mid-20s?
That's funny.
All of the research ever done on that stops when the subjects reach their mid-20s. They've never looked at like, is your brain still growing when you're 30?
The answer, am I still learning things? What do you know? I'm still
would say, like-
connecting neurons and shit.
I would say, like, realistically, either the draft age should go to 21 or the alcohol age should drop to 18. That's just where my stance is.
Listen, I completely get where you're coming from, but when there are worse, like that, we need to be on the bottom floor of this first. Fucking, we have drugs that are way better for people that are legally worse than alcohol.
That's
Yeah.
also fair.
We
Yeah.
need to deal with that first.
We need to really overhaul entirely how we handle drugs.
However,
And we also have things that aren't even illegal that are kind of becoming super common in the streets, like fucking nitrous.
yes, we need to have fucking what are those called again? They had a name. And
Galaxy gas?
no, Galaxy Gas is the name of the current thing, but it was another thing.
Whippets.
Whippets. It's just Whippets again.
Yeah.
They're back.
Yeah.
Whippets back.
Good God. Yeah, it's I don't know. It's just
It's a lot.
none of the.
Yeah, we should bring back Datura.
I
That's what we
own
should
one
do.
of these games.
What game?
I own a couple of these games.
You wouldn't be able to take it with you.
Damn.
It'd just delete itself right from your PlayStation.
I want
mid
BMX
sesh.
XXX. I want to play it. It sounds funny. PS2 nudity sounds hilarious. Plus, I actually liked the BMX, David Mira's BMX when I was younger. I played a lot of those.
Makes
Oh,
me think of like
Leisure
all
Suit
like this-
Larry, Mega Cum Laude is banned. Could you believe it? Could you
Wow,
believe
a
that was
Leisure
banned?
Suit Larry game being banned. Who would have thunk it?
Do you think Fuck Mr. Hatcher is playable?
This is a game I own, by the way. I do own this Leisure Suit Larry.
That's hilarious.
My uncle had it, and when he died, I got all of his PS2 games. So now I own on PS2 Leisure Suit Larry, Mega Cum Laude. Banned because of sexuality and nudity and oh my god! I thought America had a sex problem. At least we're not banning games because nudity exists. We just have
Well,
moms
the-
upset about it because nudity exists.
Yeah.
Australia.
Same problem, but
The
different results.
Oh fucking!
one of the areas they like American policy is our sex negativity.
Yeah, well, apparently ours is still better than Australia's.
Yeah.
You know what? Australians fight back. They can't fix their jets. Now's your time. Now's your time.
Man,
is
this makes me think
ridiculous.
of like the worst thing about American politics is how other countries go along with American politics, though. You know, because like in this case, it's like, oh, the sex negativity. That's probably a Western thing that like bled back.
Europe
and
is pretty wishy-washy on it.
But nobody in Europe has sex. Children in Europe just kind of spawn out of nothing, unless it's Germany. Then absolutely they
spawn out of the potato farms.
How could you fuck somebody who's like, oh yeah, keep going?
Would you? Here's a serious question for you. Would you ever even romantically look at someone who could possibly ever be chuffed? Let me just put it that way. Could you? Because I'm telling you right now, no way.
I think that there is no accent less sexy than the British accent.
I'm rather chuffed with that one, isn't it?
I hear there's some British accents that are better.
Like Mumbo makes it work, you know.
It's Tuesday, isn't it?
Now you're just getting like deep into the. That's just getting in there. You're really digging deep on that one.
Actually, no. I thought of an accent significantly less sexy than British. Anything Slavic. Primarily Russian. Russian accent is very unsexy.
No, I kind of like it.
I would slam a beer with somebody with a Russian accent. I don't know if I could fuck someone with a Russian accent.
I mean,
you would not do anything with your comrade.
Drop it a couple of octaves, give me a little bit of vodka, and you know, I'd see where the night.
I can't go lower than that.
I know.
Vodka.
Love, you're desperate.
What's going on? I had to let my cat in.
We're talking about accents and fuckability. What is the least fuckable accent to you?
Scottish.
Tuesday.
Huh?
Man,
Scottish.
Scottish, really? I
don't know if it's because
Scottish
it's
is in a weird place where it's fun to listen to.
Disgusting.
See, I was gonna say that I don't know if it's like unattractive because of how they sound. I think it's unattractive because I have no idea what they're fucking saying half the time.
You gotta have that childhood trauma where you get a little erect when there's a distinct yelling.
Well, I mean, that's where the Germans come in. That's the German. Have you ever been yelled at by a German?
But we're talking about the accent here.
I've listened to German
about the
road
language.
rage. It's pretty funny.
We're not talking about the language though. We're talking about the accent. And Germans speaking English sound gay as fuck.
It sounds hot as fuck.
I can't confirm they sound a little.
I don't care.
Silly.
They sound hot as fuck. Not as hot as Australians, but you know what?
Oh yeah.
I think it's funny.
Oh, was I sitting on your leg there? Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry. Yeah, you know what? Least
German schnitzel,
least unattractive accent. Canadians.
Least attractive is Canadian. Really?
Canadian. There you go. No, it's a joke. It's literally a joke.
You're a joke.
Ooh,
I am a joke. I just think of Santa Claus too. Welcome
we're
to Canada.
American accents because most people from Minnesota are also chronically unfuckable.
I think Texans are pretty
Oh yeah, you betcha.
There's a part of the southern drawl that is charming, but when you are like in a southern state, it's significantly less charming because you actually have to be around the people, like in mass.
I agree. When a couple of them walk up on you and you haven't heard a southern drawl in a while, it's like, oh wow, that it's kind of cool. But when you're in the thick of it and it's all you hear, and because these people are only ever here and they don't go on vacation, it's just the worst of the people. It's just constant racism. It's like, I don't like the accent anymore. You ruined it for me. I don't want to hear it anymore.
States' rights do what?
States' rights to do what?
Old lady, the only reason why you're calling me hun is because I'm not black. So I don't really like this anymore.
The funny thing is like where
Dusty out here telling it like it is and simultaneously like smashing fan head cannons of what we look like.
Midwestern accents are the kind of the same way, where like you can kind of tell that they're Midwestern.
You say that, but I'm not Noodle. I don't sound black. There's no way someone hears me and goes, he might be black.
You never know.
I'm a high-pitched, whiny-voiced white man. I don't know what you're...
Okay, but like, you never know.
Oh!
You never know, comrade.
Honestly, like, people base it off of like stuff that you know, or other things. Like, it's not so much based on voice anymore, because like continuously they keep finding out that people that they thought were not white are actually just white people with unusual voices for a white guy.
Well,
Okay,
like,
but now I'm just picturing. Imagine if Wings of Redemption never showed his face.
we would still
There
know,
would be
we would
questions.
still know no we would still know he's white because of the same reasons people would know I'm white still.
Really?
Yeah.
Other than the fact that he talks in Ebonics constantly, there still could be some people who are like, I don't know, you know.
Like, let's just break it down.
Get the whiteboard out.
Yeah,
Not
let's
the
get the
blackboard,
let's
we
get
can-
the literal whiteboard out. Let's graph me.
Let me break it down for you.
Let me break it down for you, man.
He fucking train sees him right after.
Like, a bunch of my hobbies, it's when you push them all together. Where, like, every one or two of these hobbies together, sure, could be enjoyed by anyone. But when you have specifically a car guy who likes shit boxes, who collects Mountain Dews, who has a podcast, who, like, you really quickly, it's like the white's piling on right now. The white, it's getting heavy.
Really likes video essays.
But yeah, I love my 3-hour podcasts and video essays.
Oh man, if we're going with stereotypes, maybe that's why I like true crime so
I
much. I'm just a
kid
white
you
girl.
not.
I
Right.
fucking love pumpkin spice.
I kid you not. Right before this, I joined the call to get this podcast going. I watched an hour-long video of someone ranking every Need for Speed.
I
Just-
got a little excited that it was coming to fall because then I could start getting pumpkin spice coffee.
I'm more of a
I
salted caramel man myself.
You gonna wear Uggs too?
was gonna say
I do have a pair of like really
See-
soft boots that I like.
See, it's like we're white.
So I was gonna say, as far as like a cold season drink, I'm very much like a hot chocolate or a salted caramel hot chocolate. I know it's normally a mocha, but I don't do coffee.
I like my salted caramel.
What about some hot apple cider?
I was just
Some
about to
hot
say
apple
some
cider.
do not. I was just about to say apple cider. I love apple cider.
Hot, crisp apple cider.
But you know, it doesn't beat my year-round drink.
Wine punch.
Hawaiian
Bailey's? I'm kidding.
Punch. Good old Bailey's and cream, am I right? Yeah, Hawaiian Punch. Give me that red drink every day. of the
Daisy,
week.
that's the mic. Don't do that.
Nice red flavor.
Did any of you hear the batting of the mic?
Yeah.
I get Daisy just jumps on my lap, looks at the mic, and goes whack, 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 and then jumps off my lap. I'm like, what are you?
Breaking news
Choosing
of the day:
violence.
Twitter got
He
unbanned
is.
in Brazil.
He's
That
protecting his
didn't
dad.
last long.
What about
Yeah,
Brazil?
it didn't last very long at all.
Twitter
Twitter's
got
unbanned.
unbanned in Brazil.
Oh yeah. Elon broke down. He wanted his Brazilian fan cam creators back.
I think it's just really funny to think about the fact that I almost guarantee it was because he was losing revenue. I almost guarantee the Brazilian like user base was way larger than he thought it was.
No, I have some information on this.
Really?
All ears.
Basically, about all of Elon's companies are a little too tied together. So something happened where, they were like, okay, every ISP, you have to ban Twitter. well, he owns an internet company, and he was refusing to do that too. So, like, all right, well, you either ban your own company, or we also just completely ban Starlink in this country.
Oh,
Yeah, and Elon had to be like, "Oh shit." So yeah, to save Starlink in Brazil, he had to ban Twitter on his own with his own other company.
Wait, how is it unbanned now?
Oh, so that happened, and then realizing that he should probably just get Twitter back as well, he renamed someone down there to be in charge, who will ban super bad accounts.
Oh, so
when they
Twitter's
need
actually
to.
about to become better in Brazil than everywhere else.
Yes. Well, that's the thing. The reason why they were banned was because he took away their office and refused to assign anyone as like, you go here to talk to the company.
Yeah.
But after when he realized he was going to have to ban his own company with his other own company, he just decided, well, fuck, I'll just assign someone again. So that's what happened. It was either Twitter and Starlink are not in Brazil, or both are in Brazil. That's basically what he refused the middle ground, where Starlink bans Twitter. It was both or none, and he was like, "Well, I'd rather have the money."
Remember when he was saying that he wouldn't back down like that, by the way? Remember
Yeah.
that back when
Yeah.
he was saying like Twitter was super cowardly for enforcing European bans everywhere?
Yeah, except other countries like India, he happily bent over and did those for because they made him lots of money. He
Yeah.
randomly picks fights, and he loses almost every single one of them.
Yeah, because he seems to think that he's above the law sometimes.
Yeah.
I think it's just the ketamine, really.
Me boy, but ketamine.
Baby
Bob. I've overdosed on ketamine, and I'm going to die.
All right, how about we talk about a little game we played?
Black.
yeah.
Black.
Or
Don't
as it's
say it
called
Can
in
you,
my notes.
I was gonna say,
black.
can you tell I'm white by the way I say black?
I don't want to answer that.
It could never work between us, but not because you're a rabbit. It's because you're black.
That is that
I love
that needs
those
to be
stories.
the quote for the podcast episode.
You can put that on my tombstone.
It just needs to show like the game so that people don't immediately think that you're a raging
Yeah,
racist.
we have to say the name of the game happily, otherwise we're racists.
Black.
We can't be
It's
like
black
I did
for
not
the
like
PS2.
I did not like black.
It's black.
I did not
for the
like
PS2.
black. I'm so sorry.
You say
You know what's
the
funny
thing
though?
Okay, the thing that's really fucking throwing me is how much you say it with your nose. Like you really get your fucking nostrils in there on that
It's
word,
the
man.
Texan in him.
No, it's the opposite. It is the
Texas
it is the you're misknowing this. It is the lack of nostril. I am plugged up from allergies right now. It is the lack of the nostrils right now. Black.
Black.
Well, that's the thing though.
Fight in
It's-
black.
Ugh.
I'm hearing it like in the way back of your nose, man.
No.
That
Can I-
shit's
can
like
I-
resonating in the hollow space between.
So who was it that
Black.
who was it that recommended this game again?
It was May. You're
You-
welcome. Kill me. I'll hang
Go
myself.
directly to jail. Actually, you know what's funny though? I didn't
Do
actually
not pass
hate this.
go. Do not collect $200.
I genuinely did not hate playing black. That is the funniest part.
Podcast time. What game? Just guess. Black. Jail.
I love that fucking game.
So
Accent
do I.
time.
$600. Jail. Womp. All right, we played Black for the PS2. It's a game. How do I want to do this? I thought about trying to set the stage first. I think I'm going to do that. All right, every one of you, shut up. Not that you've said
No.
anything, but you got to shut
Okay.
up.
Fuck
all right?
you.
Let me set the scene for you. It's early 2000s.
No.
World War II shooters are fucking everywhere. It's a problem.
We can't go back.
What?
We
I
can't.
told
go
you to
back.
shut up.
He said it's the early 2000s. I say we can't go back.
It's
Not
the
we
it's the
can't go
early
back to better
2000s. I was like 5.
times. I think I was.
It's the early 2000s. My boyfriend is still in diapers.
I was in diapers in the early 2000s.
Ah!
I was.
I don't know what.
I was so aggressive.
Gods.
I hate children. Anyway,
Well, you know.
Well,
at least
hey, we
at
wouldn't
least
have
you
to
were
worry
honest
about
about it.
like problems later on if you do get famous because you're a certified pedophobe. If only Mini
I was
Lad had,
about
like,
to
a
be
severe
so
phobia of children.
concerned for a second.
so was I was like, what's
I
about
was
to
like,
be
she's
How-
about to end your career and your life.
halfway through? I'm worried when the word starts with pedo. I'm like, what's about to be said?
Like, but you imagine like famous people who like just we have like in order to become famous we inject you with a serum that makes you deathly afraid of children. Hold on, Gretel, get down. You need to get down.
Uh-oh.
She's
Um,
climbing something.
So it's the early 2000s. World War II shoes are everywhere, and there's a big shadow being cast over all the shooters. There's a couple of
Shadow the
shadows.
Hedgehog.
One of which is the PC has all the cool shooters, and the consoles have none.
True.
There's very
does.
few that are good. And the big shadow is the only one that is really good, and that is this thing called Halo. By this time, there's already 2 of them, and they're kind of a big deal.
That does bring up a small side point. I'm pretty sure the first Red faction existed. No, you're setting it wrong is the problem.
You don't even know how I'm setting it.
Well, you keep setting then.
Let
Halo.
him set.
No.
I approve of you saying other games exist. You are correct. However, I'm setting a different stage.
Well,
My stage is about everyone being distracted by the big green Halo man and not realizing that there was behind them some hot coals were starting to ignite. That being Call of Duty. They were too distracted to see that modern shooters were about to explode.
John Halo.
John Halo is a really big guy. In 1 year, Halo 3. And then that same year, a month later, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. And the multiplayer shooter will take off. So the only people who aren't in the shooter battle right now are the only ones that can actually see like World War II shooters overdone. We need to do something else. So that is why a company who has made nothing but car games tries to make a shooter, because they're like, we can see something's going to happen here. A big shift is going to happen, and we want in. So they make this game. They go big on modern shooter, but they try to do what they did with Burnout, and that is show off the thing. The character means basically nothing. The cars are the cool thing. Destruction is the cool thing. We make a shooter. The guns are the cool thing, and destruction's the cool thing. And that's how we get this game. That is it. Everyone else but companies who weren't already making shooters were too busy looking at Halo making all the money that Call of Duty was able to sneak up behind them, all gillied up with Modern Warfare.
Nice for
I'm
reference.
sorry.
You're welcome.
Gilly is one of those words that I accept it, but it just sounds so silly.
Gillied up.
Ghillie suit.
Yeah.
So speaking of destruction,
Destruction.
Red faction,
Yes.
of which there were 2 of them, I think, by the time this game came out.
Let me Google it real quick. Red Factorio Gorilla.
Red faction 2001, Red faction 2. 2002. Red Faction. What were they? Because there was. Did I play the original a bunch? Red Faction 2, Red Faction Guerrilla, Armageddon. 2010.
Gorilla was 2009.
Yeah, it wasn't Guerrilla that I played because that one was.
That was the one on Mars, right?
Yeah, so the only ones out at this time were 1
they're
and
all
2.
on Mars. Yeah, so the thing about Red Faction, because destruction was like one of the big things about Black. Red Faction did it better.
Yeah.
Because the Geomod engine is wicked cool. You want destructible buildings? Done. Destructible ground? Done. Fucking the walls, everything is destructible.
The finals?
You know, all things considered, though, when I was playing through Black, I wasn't hating my time once I had gotten the controls figured out. That was the hardest part.
I only was able to play this game somewhat okay when I spent $20 on a Stadia controller.
I was using an Xbox 360 controller.
I was using a.
I had drift,
controller.
but I think that was more of my controller's issue than the game's issue.
So I'm gonna take us down the story, the very long, convoluted story. I'm gonna break it down for you, Mark. Right? Hey, it's always
didn't pay
it's,
attention to the story.
I did
whatsoever.
not care about the story. I will say,
oh well.
the secondary objectives had me cackling.
Oh, we'll get to those. We'll get to them. But the main story, it's very long, convoluted, right? We're gonna be here for a while. Are you ready?
No.
The main character's name is Jack Keller. He is a Black Ops guy. He's being interrogated for what he's done. Flashback. He was in Russia.
Yeah.
You ready for this?
Okay, yeah.
He was going for a terrorist group called the Seventh Wave, specifically for their leader, Linux. I think it's Lennox, but I think it's Linux is funnier. He was alone, and then he met a lady, and then he met a second guy. They went to team up with Black Ops Group A. The lady that you find, she's the leader of Group B. So you are now in Group B. You go to Group A. Group A has been murdered by Linux. You meet him on a bridge. You blow him up. You're told, hey, you did good, but he survived. But we're making up a story to say that you died, so you can go for him secretly. End of game.
Oh,
That's it. Super long, convoluted, right? That's it.
All of those full
Wait, that's
motion
a to be
videos were for
continued?
that?
Yeah, that's basically what the story is. The
Can I also be
interrogation really
honest?
is just
I was
like,
kind of giggling.
what's your
about-
what was your next mission? What was you tell it to me straight? And he's just angry, and it turns out it's like, well, I did my next mission. I went to a bridge.
I think it's funny. When I was listening to that, I was sitting there like, that can't be their actual voices. The lip syncing does not
It's
fit
not.
the voices here.
it's guaranteed not, because I noticed the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, you also because you're the sound guy. I was thinking about asking you about it. I was like, no, I'd save it for the podcast. But yeah, what do you think they're doing with the fucking audio mixing there? Because it doesn't sound like lapel mics. It sounds like they actually had these voices.
No,
in the studio.
it sounds like it's different actors
yeah.
doing the voiceover as opposed to the actual acting.
I said this to Love, and he was like, "It might just be you."
No, it's not.
I will say I shortened it a little bit for the comedic effect. There was one thing I skipped. In the middle of the game, you're like, we find one of the higher ups that knows Linux. So you track him down and then you interrogate him, and that's why I missed out on. The middle point is you find a guy, you interrogate him, and then he tells you where Linux is running. And then you go there to meet up with Team A. You find out they're dead. You were too late. And then you go and kill them, but you fail. But you're going to do a second try and then end the game. You didn't even get it.
And I'll also be honest here. because like one of the things I noticed when I was going through the barn mission, where I was like, okay, so I get that this is like some real Black Ops shit, but I've requested aid like 3 times now, and I'm alone here. Do they just expect that I'm some kind of super soldier? Like, this is set in the real world. I don't have any special powers or anything. I'm just a guy with a gun.
So
What?
here's the thing. Have you ever thought about the fact that you could always just blame it on the fact that he is an untrustworthy narrator? Maybe he's an idiot and he never actually called them. And in his retelling, it's like, oh, I totally called them. I totally.
Sounds
They're
like
like,
half the customers.
They're like,
I deal
hey,
with.
I know you're like knee deep in enemy territory, but can you cause as much fucking ruckus as possible in this barn area?
Some serious.
Are we gonna
ruckus.
do? By the way, I have to ask: are we gonna do notes for this one? Did anybody
Yes.
take notes? Because
I
Yeah.
didn't because
Uh,
by the time
I'm
I
gonna-
played it was a nightmare session.
I'm
so-
gonna go first because my notes are really short.
All right.
So I named this game Charcoal Gray.
Oh, I get it.
Love
sense.
the old menu. Jesus Christ, the cutscenes take so long. Everything blurs
Yeah.
when you reload. Guess my eyes can't focus on anything but my low resolution gun. The AK-47 is a medium range weapon, not mid range, medium range. Because that's how people usually say stuff like that. I can't even with these guns. 60 round magazine, gun looks bent. No ADS?
it does. There is an
Then
ADS. It's just
several-
terrible.
Well, no, you zoom in. There are iron sights on every one of those guns, and you use none of them.
Yeah.
It's like
That's
Fallout
true.
New Vegas.
Yeah.
3.
Fallout 3 more because New Vegas actually added
New
some
Vegas
of the
let you
irons.
use irons, yeah, for some of them.
On some of the guns, not all of them.
And then space down, so there's a whole space between it. This game kind of feels like ass. The missions just drag on.
Yeah.
That's it. Those are my notes for Charcoal Gray.
Here's my notes for Blech.
Blech.
The music is really fucking good. But the immediate unskippable cut credits as soon as you try to play the game for the first time is a brave choice. The lip sync and voice acting is kind of silly. Immediately tried to ADS, flabbergasted by Crouch being L2. Fucking Crouch.
Yep.
Also, either I have drift or the dead zones in this game don't work very well.
There's no
Probably
dead
my
zones.
fault for using an Xbox controller.
There's no dead zones.
No.
Oh, then it is the game then. Sensitivity is very low and I can't change it in the pause menu. This game is surprisingly forgiving about health and combat. The gunplay, like, if you play it like it's Quake, it's actually kind of fun. Real person cutscenes always make me giggle. Reload blur is unique. I love the destroyable environments. The secondary objectives are so dark and hilarious. I destroyed a list of CIA front companies in Europe. Checkpoints are terrible. Don't ever die. Because moving is slow. The
Yeah.
checkpoints are not at very convenient times. When you're doing the barn mission, the last cutscene before you have any checkpoints while you're doing the the barn point is right when you're getting shot at by that one shotgun dude in the little ravine there before you get there.
Nice.
All right. So we're going to go through my notes and then I'm going to have a conversation about this game with you. Right?
Yep.
So my notes are just called Ops because it's supposed to be Black Ops, but it's just black. So my notes are just Ops. There you go.
Mm.
That's good.
Ops. The game starts off so somber
Yeah.
for no reason. It's
Yeah.
like a Vietnam movie. where it's just like,
Yeah.
get ready, the vibes are depressed, and then it's just an old man yelling at me while I'm chained to a table. Like, what was your next mission? And then my next one, because I was already snarky at the game, I just put Modern Warfare is based on deception, which is how Modern Warfare 3 starts off. Keller, number 7178412. I don't know why I wrote that, but I did. Oh, he did a bad. The AK got the Halo 60 round treatment. The focus on the gun is so great that when you reload, everything but the gun goes blurry.
Yeah, I don't get it. It's very unique, but I don't get it.
It's so you focus on the animations. It's the gun is cool.
The real crisp PS2 reload.
The gun
Don't
is
need
cool.
to see while I'm reloading.
Focus. Did you stop moving when you reload? Just take a bullet to
Bro,
your
I
face.
was holding down, like, going diagonal just to make sure I got as much movement as possible, because this game moving diagonal actually is literally faster.
The fourth guy looks like young beardless Tomska. The fourth guy is the fourth like friend of the bad guy that you end up tracking down and interrogating. Spaz has a lot of rounds as well. I don't have the exact number, but it kept going up. It's like
so based
80,
on
something like that, 70.
God, just small thing. Based on what I noticed, the weapons usually had double or more what their traditional ammo in real life would be.
Yes,
It's because you're gonna be dumping rounds in the general direction of enemies. I think they knew how people would play it.
Well, again, I'm gonna have this conversation because I did a lot of research in this game because I was confused as to why everyone likes it. Spaz shoots through doors. Uzi has 90 rounds. I failed a mission, not because I died, but because I didn't complete enough side missions. My discipline?
Yes.
Be forced to play it on easy. Easy mode is literally the same game. Enemies with the same health, you with the same health. Drops are the same, but there's no side missions. So the game is better. What?
I would kind of agree with that. The side missions are a little stressful sometimes when it's like I'm looking for these, and then once I've done like enough that I don't need to do them anymore, I just stopped looking for them.
Yeah.
Because it's not like I was having fun looking for them. I was just kind of doing it so I could pass the mission.
I got a new Bluetooth controller. Plays a little better. I doubt this game plays this meh with a PS2 controller.
Yeah.
There's one in-game cutscene, and it's to show Team A is dead with somber music. Bridge level is annoying and bad. And those are my notes. So, I'm going to tell you some facts, and you're going to react to it. I'm going to tell you about why this game is the way it is. This game wants to be, quote, Burnout for shooters. A stylish, fun, arcadey, just exciting, action-packed thing, right?
Oh yeah, you were
It
saying this
isn't, but
before.
Yeah.
You were saying this when you posed this game that it was supposed to be Burnout for shooters.
It's
I
by
don't
the
know
same
what the
team.
fuck they mean by that.
What do you mean? When you hit the boost, the world goes blurry except for the car. When you reload, everything goes blurry except for the gun. What do you mean? It's the same.
They just needed to add speed lines when you reload. Just like,
Exactly.
oh!
It's the same. It's exactly the same. Destruction when you run into buildings. Destruction when you shoot the buildings. You know how you extend racing games, including Need for Speed Most Wanted, which is not the same team, though this team would eventually be Need for Speed developers. I Need for Speed, Fast and Furious.
Okay.
No, Need for Speed. I'm an idiot. Hold on.
Okay.
I'm having a stroke.
You're okay.
I'm having a stroke.
You're having your
It's
fourth
okay.
brain in your
Breathe, Grandma. It's okay.
Vin Diesel is in my dreams. Lego Vin Diesel exists and he's coming for me.
Family.
Need for they will eventually be Need for Speed developers, and I don't think they've ever really made a good Need for Speed. They, where was I going with this? My brain. The Fast and Furious destroyed me. Where was I? Help me out here.
Destruction, run into buildings.
Oh yeah. The next one is, you know how in racing games they extend things, including in racing games they didn't develop. This is just a thing racing games do. Think of this: Need for Speed Most Wanted. You need to get to the guy. So what do? A bunch
Side
of
missions.
little side missions that you have to
Oh,
do before you
no.
get to the end of it.
Oh no.
So what do we do in our new game? Side missions that you have to do before you get to the end of it.
Okay, someone's mic is going a
It's a
little.
little-
I hear it too.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're okay.
I have no idea what causes it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was just a little bit of a fact.
I was just letting you know.
Yep.
Yeah, like literally they did not know how to make a shooter, but my god, they were gonna try. So anytime they're like, what do we do? They're like, well, we do this in racing games. They're like, let's do it again. Let's do it again. So the idea really is, hey, let's take and use guns that look cool and will be known for the next multiple decades. Make them really loud, make them really cool, focus on the guns, make them really powerful. And we want you to feel like Rambo or Arnold Schwarzenegger at the beginning of Predator.
I feel like that's why every gun had double ammo then.
And just you're hip firing, you're shooting, dust is coming off of everything, and it's really cool.
This makes me wonder though, if they really wanted that vibe, why is there not more heavy metal playing in the background? Or like really pumpy music?
I think he's getting to that.
Well, no, it's because that's Vietnam tropes. This is modern.
Yeah. Yeah, Fortunate Son did a lot for Vietnam War movies.
You can't have rock
in the background.
We want a modern day game that uses the 80s tropes. We're not making an 80s game. We can't use all the 80s tropes. So we have somber music in front of the game that's trying to be epic. Duh. So yeah,
I feel like that's a conflict of interest here.
There is. I'm glad you've noticed that their idea was, let's make a shooter. And yes, focus on the guns, make them cool. You don't need to see when you reload, though, right? Let's just really focus on the gun so much that you can't see. By the way, there are landmine areas in this game. So if you
Don't
dare to
reload
walk
in the
forward in
mined
these
area.
areas while you're blind because you're too busy oogling over your P90, you're fucked.
It's P90s?
Yeah, there's P90s.
Mm-hmm. Later
I
on.
never
there.
encountered one.
Yeah. As you go, you get more and more guns. The G63 shows up.
G36.
G36, sorry. G36.
They tried
shows up.
introducing new guns to me.
Mate
I
70.
stick with my AK because all the enemies use the AK.
Yeah. Yeah, the Mate
Yeah,
70
the Mate
shows up.
70 shows up.
Hell yeah.
You're eventually able to use the classic RPG and stuff.
But you can use the RPG in the first mission too.
Yeah, but you have to find it. There's a later part of the game where they specifically hand it to you. They're like, here's this. You will need it. And then you can still not use it. There's a grenade launcher.
I didn't use the
M16.
RPG to shoot the guy out of the tower in the first mission, by the way. I used it to just blow up some random guy that was in my way.
I didn't use it because next to RPG guys, there tends to be just a red barrel anyway.
Yeah.
They should really not stand next to those.
Well, you know why they're there. It's because in the shooter, your aim is so bad because they want you to feel cool because you're holding down the trigger the whole time. So there needs to be multiple things up there for you to hit that could end up killing the guy.
I fucking hate that design philosophy.
But that's the thing. You think of beginning of Predator, Arnold Schwarzenegger has the machine gun. He's just shooting things and dust is everywhere and people are just constantly dying. That's what they wanted this game to feel like. They wanted you to hold down the trigger, which is why there's so much ammo. But that's the problem is things are far away. This only works at like medium range. When you're at long range, I can't
Medium
hit shit.
You're doing it too now.
I don't
It's
care.
It's
I
mid
don't
range.
No, it's medium. It's medium range.
I mean,
You're mid.
according to the game, it's medium range.
It's medium range. It's in canon.
God
It's
damn
lore.
it, guys.
It's lore.
But hey, worth noting, I pretty much tap fired my AK through most of the game that I played.
You played the game
I had
wrong.
that shit on semi-auto
did.
unless I
I
was
did.
getting swarmed.
You can swap your gun.
I set it to burst.
Yeah, you could swap your gun to burst or semi.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure that I if I had to guess, that became later because they realized you can't hit shit.
I feel like the devs should have made a thing where it's like if you pick those options, the game jump scares you and tells you you're playing it wrong. You're doing it wrong.
So yeah,
The developers of the game show up just to take your PS2. They confiscate it.
at medium range. Fuck you.
It hurts.
It works the best. That's how they want you to feel. The problem is there are people miles away sniping you, and you can't hit shit. And there's people up close, and that's when you realize this guy is taking 20 of my 60 bullets before he dies.
Yeah.
The fuck is this? So like this, they took a shooter and they made your gun do no damage because they wanted you to use as much bullets as possible because it looked cool. That's a terrible way to make a shooter.
Especially
you also really don't get
with
rewarded that well
enemies
for dinking people in the head.
You
Because
talk
like then
over
you
each
get like
other.
the shotgun dudes that have a helmet on that like flies off when you dink them in the head.
Wulfryk, what were you saying?
It's especially stupid when they're throwing like 30 guys at you
Yes.
and there's barely any cover and you're just stuck.
You know where I know. So I'm the only one that got like really far into the game. I quit on the last level. It was really hard. I got to the last level and I was like, no, I can't do this. But later on in the game, multiple times, you get to points where it is an endless wave until you're able to blow up a machine gun nest. And if you can't find that machine gun nest, it is just wave after wave after wave. Now, usually they're pretty easy to find, but sometimes they blend in with the environment. Or sometimes what I noticed is the collision on them isn't big enough. Because here's the thing about a machine gun nest. I don't know if you know this. If you throw a grenade through the window, but there's a room back there, you could blow up the room and not the machine gun nest itself. So you can accidentally throw like 3 grenades in there before you realize, oh, I need to stand a little to the side. So it bounces off one wall to the other, but staying up here up front of the machine gun nest to blow up a hole for myself so I can get in there. Because every single one is blocking a door. You have to go through them. It's annoying. This game is so badly put together. It's I really don't like it. I don't like this game.
I don't like it.
I don't like it. I like shooters. This is a bad shooter. Just every design when they try to here's the thing. The reason why I specifically brought up Halo is famously Halo was made with the rule of cool.
Yeah. Like expressly.
Well, so was this game, and this is what you can fucking get.
Love, I think your headset's unplugged or something because your audio.
No, I'm moving things around.
Stop.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. It sounds like you're playing a game of chess with your cat or something.
She was trying to get into things, so I was actually trying to stop her. That's why I was moving things. I just didn't want to say anything.
It sounds like a chessboard being played with.
What it was is there's a wooden tray that my laptop is sitting on currently, and I had to move that aside.
Ah.
So you were
So it was
actually
wood.
hearing wood. It was wood. You were hearing wood.
Fantastic. So yeah,
You're hearing my wood.
that's kind of where I wanted to take this. Was this game was made because a bunch of developers known for making arcade racing games noticed a hole in the shooter market was about to be formed, but weren't smart enough to realize that it was going to be filled with, yes, a modern shooter, but specifically with multiplayer shooters on the next generation of console. So Halo continued to be big. Call of Duty started to be big. And this game, made seemingly with the same rule of cool as Halo, made a really bad shooter. But because there were very few like really good shooters on the PS2, people think this game is good. I guarantee this podcast is one of the very few pieces of content on YouTube that is anti-black.
We need a different way to say that.
Dude, you
Specifically-
can't say that.
Specifically the video game.
You can-
I will say,
Early 2000 shooter
Back the
made by
video
the
game on
Burnout team.
PlayStation 2.
on the PlayStation 2.
um,
The
I will
funny
say,
part about
I
that
actually am
is
super mid on it. I could see why people like it, honestly.
I don't.
I don't.
I could genuinely see it because it isn't terrible.
No,
and if somebody played this when they were a kid,
Cars, the video game is better. King Kong, the video game is better.
The controllers
Cars
are
the
bad.
When I-
when you reload.
when I was a child, here's the thing. Child me played Halo and Medal of Honor. If I came off of Medal of Honor to play this, I would never pick up a first-person shooter again. I would be so demoralized.
okay, but like, what's worse, this or Haze?
This.
Yeah.
Man, I actually
Black is
disagree.
worse
I think
than
I
Haze.
just liked Haze more.
I mean,
Well, you're wrong.
story-wise, Haze was pain.
Here's the
But, like,
thing.
The controls of Haze were fine, and
Yeah. You
for
can hit
as bad
things.
as accuracy was in
Okay.
Haze when you're not juicing, at least you can juice and hit something.
Mhm.
It's
My biggest
nectar,
issue
first
with
of all.
Haze is a lot of the game mechanics were just kind of existed to be frustrating.
You're supposed to have the nectar.
Yeah.
It's all about the nectar.
They're supposed to waggle your controller.
Yes.
Then again,
Use
maybe I'm also
roids.
biased because I also disliked the fire, and I had zero way of doing that, of getting rid of fire.
Yeah, that's your fault for having a bad controller.
I was
so.
gonna say that right there is just a tech issue. That's not even like
Yeah.
that is just technology diff.
Though, listen, the only thing I can say good about this game is that somehow it came out just early enough that it was not piss filtered.
It's
That's
true.
true. You gotta give it points for that.
I have to give it points for coming out early enough that it was not PlayStation 3 piss filter, which I think works on some games. I got into an argument on Twitter. I am pro piss filter on some games because it actually helps like with the theme of the game, or it actually helps like set that world.
Well, like if we were to completely get rid of the piss filter, then say goodbye to the Red Dead Redemption Deadeye mechanic.
Say good, like part of like even early games from around this time that like cemented the piss filter used it well. Like we've already had multiple piss filter games on this podcast. Haze, of course, being one, but Need
Yeah.
for Speed Most Wanted is also piss filter. But
Yeah,
it works
it is.
it works in Need for Speed because it's supposed to be a grungy you're the bad guy game. Right? Every other Need for Speed is like, maybe the cops were bad. This one's like they're doing their job. He just wants to stop street racing, and you're like, but I have a BMW, and I can crash all of you, so I'm right. It lets you be the bad guy, and it
need for speed.
exactly you being in like a run downtown piss filter actually helps cement that game. Everything is kind of boring and dirty, and it helps. Piss filter can be good. The problem is like all of the PS3 generation was that they just put it on because everything else had it.
Yeah.
Also, if you're going to remaster a PS3 game that had piss filter, removing it is actually bad.
Yeah.
You keep it. even if it doesn't necessarily help the game, it
For the
being
sake of
there.
preservation, at least.
Yes, for the sake of preservation, keep it. All right. Removing the piss filter is like when they remastered Silent Hill 2 like 10 years ago and they removed the fog. Was that a tech issue thing? That is the only reason they had it? Yes, but it fucking helped. And a lot of these games, the piss filter is integral to the identity of these games. Picture PS4 Mad Max game, not piss filter. What a boring looking gray game that would be.
Honestly,
Stop
I'm
it.
just trying to picture Silent Hill without the fog.
Yeah, it's bad.
That sounds like I have such little experience with Silent Hill on account of the genre that it is.
Yeah.
But even I know like Silent Hill and fog are synonymous.
Yeah, see that's the thing. Even this one over here who has no idea even about it really knows Silent Hill and fog are a thing.
Because that's the meme.
Yeah, but when they remastered it the first time, when they did the really bad PS3 HD collection, which they loved to do during that generation, they were like, well, the fog was a tech restraint, so we'll just remove it.
So now
We
my
don't need the
question
fog
is,
anymore.
Are we going to rate black?
Yes.
That sounds really bad.
The hit video game on the PS2. You can't forget to say that.
Yeah, let's just say black PS2. No, that doesn't work.
No.
Most PS2s
PS2's
were
black.
piano black. Fun fact.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
white ones were the rare ones. There's a blue one. There's a red one.
I had a
think there's a
silver
white one.
slim.
Yeah, silver. Let's go. This is a random tangent that is nothing. But on Reddit, there's a guy who is making 3D printed PS2 cases, but inside is a PS2, and the little door on the back of on a PSP, and the door on the back of a PSP is on the top of it now. So it's like literally a PS 1.5, but it's a mini PS2 Slim that plays PSP games.
I love that.
I went when the instructions to make one is available, or I can buy one, I'm getting one. I want one so bad. I want to put a little PSP UMD into a mini PS2 Slim. That sounds awesome. They're trying to get it to work with PS4 controllers.
Yo.
Yeah, like it's cool. Anyway, we'll go in the order of the news. Fancy.
So my
win.
rating is gonna be based on something else. Where did I put Hayes?
Let me open up.
Or what number did I get?
I also
give
want to
Hayes?
know what I gave Hayes.
Well, Hayes is better, so you should probably.
Yeah.
I know that's why I'm.
Hayes, Fancy, you gave it a 3. Is it? Have you rated anything else a 2? No, you don't have any 2s. You could put it.
I'll
a 2.
give it a 2.
All right, a 2.
2's fair in my
Eelayne, you also gave it a 3.
I'm gonna put black in the exact same place that I put Hayes.
3.
Yep.
Wulfryk.
What do I have in the low range?
Resident Evil 7.
Well,
yeah,
that's, zero,
that's your
but
0.
What do I have above that? Like, where's Hayes on
Hayes, you gave a 4.
this? Okay. What do I have below that?
You haven't really given anything worse than a 4. The only other
Besides
one is
Resident
1
Evil.
or a 0. That being Vanguard, Deus Ex, or Resident Evil 7. If you haven't absolutely hated a game, you've given it a 4 or higher.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm gonna give it a 1. On account of mechanically it doesn't do anything impressive. Its controls are whack even for the time. The design choices they made were either bad or done better by another game that came out earlier than them, such as the destructibility in Red Faction, a first-person shooter without aiming in Halo, a first-person shooter with a story, and Halo or Medal of Honor or the first couple of Call of Duties.
The PS2 exclusive Call of Duties, even that I grew up
Yeah.
playing, which you could get in a double pack at Walmart for $10.
Which
I had.
You remember all that shit?
I have 2 copies of each of them, and I have my original ones that, just like my Modern Warfare 3, which came with my PS3, that says not available for resale. All versions that came in the double pack say that on their separate cases because they were always meant for a 2-pack. So my copies that I had ever since I was like 10 say do not resale because they had to have a cover on them, and you would sell it with that one. Anyway, I'm a nerd. Sorry.
But yeah, like it was unimpressive. It wasn't fun. The controls felt bad. The story was so boring. And it was trying so hard to be such a spectacle of a game.
Yes.
And it failed in basically every regard except look how many people can shoot at you at once.
You know what? I'm going to say something. I think I'm on your side with this. I think I'm going to say something that might be a little crazy. I think this game would look better if it had the piss filter because everything's just kind of gray. I think the piss filter would make the game more interesting looking.
We need to make a new filter that isn't piss, but is like just colorful
Shit?
in some way.
Do you want the shit filter?
You know what? Unironically, yes. Yes, I want the shit filter.
Everything.
We gotta take these people to Brown Town.
But it's like that ugly greenish brown. Yeah.
I want a noir detective game, but like it is in black and white until you solve the mystery on who took all the colors. And then it just becomes full-blown Technicolor.
Mm-hmm.
Is that not like... I don't know why, but that feels like the epic Mickey games.
Oh, wait, that is literally that. Yeah, it is.
What are you giving it?
I'm going to give it the same as you. I'm going to give it a 2. It's not so bad that I'm going to give it a 1. I would rather play this way more than revisit Deus Ex Mankind Divided. Way more.
See, my reasoning for not putting it above Deus Ex is simply that the things that I found frustrating about Deus Ex were not the actual controls that were unchangeable.
I actually kind of do, because half of the controls in that game is we took away your controls. Haha, watch this animation the 10th time.
Yeah.
I still have controller problems with Mankind Divided. But no, the reason why I'm giving it a 2 is because I am willing to give it the fact that it is an older game. And by that I mean it's old enough that it doesn't even have the standard FPS controls.
Yeah.
So, like, when you go to jump, you reload your gun.
Yeah.
Or to aim, you crouch.
Yeah, or when you go to aim, it's still you're using the bumpers, not the triggers.
When you go to shoot somebody, you actually throw a grenade directly at your feet.
Yeah,
I did that so many times.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, that wouldn't happen if he actually threw the grenade and he didn't just fumble it out of his arm every time.
Yeah,
There's
dude
a
is
huge
not
arc
a
on it.
baseball player, period.
My grandpa
So we
could
know our
throw a
protagonist
grenade
is-
better.
Yeah.
Our protagonist is not the namesake of the game. That's how we know.
The protagonist has never thrown a ball for a dog ever.
The protagonist during training is the guy who accidentally dropped the grenade in the pit that he's in, and the sergeant had to yank him into a different pit before it exploded.
Yeah.
That's our guy.
Just to let natural causes take him out of the gene
Natural
pool.
selection.
Natural selection.
Somehow this guy is in the Black Ops team. Somehow.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's like some of those cringe spin the wheel things that I watch.
Guy aims by just moving his neck forward.
Dislocates it from his oh my god, he dislocates it from his shoulders like a fucking Gary's mod animation. It's just her.
I like to think that to aim he lurches his head forward but also brings the gun under his armpit because he never actually aims, so he's just moving things closer to his body. And that's how the game fucking controls, and that's good for a shooter. Anyway, I'm giving it those because at least it is old enough. If this came, like this is like a year and a half from being a 1. This came out a whole year before Call of Duty 3. If this game came out, what?
You said this game out.
This game out. Yes, this game out. It came out a year before Call of Duty 3. If it came out after, then I'd be like, all right, we've mastered controls. What are you doing? Like, it came out a year earlier. If it came out 1 year later, I'd be like, this is even worse than it actually is. Because now we know how the triggers are on a controller. They've been there since the PS1. Maybe we should use them for,
Your argument has swayed me some. I will bump it up to a 2.
Yeah.
I think the consensus is generally 2 or 3.
Yeah, like that's the thing. It's old. It came out like, yes, there were other shooters on the PS2. Yes, there were better shooters on the PS2. But at the same time, you specifically, I'm pointing at you, are being harsh on it compared to the newest Call of Duty, basically, with the newest controls and omni movement.
And worth noting, for me, for a game to be a 2 or a 1, I have to have genuinely disliked my time playing.
I genuinely disliked
I genuinely disliked my time
I didn't hate it. No, I really did not hate it that much. Like, there were times I was complaining, but I wasn't sitting there like, God, I have to play this fucking game. Yeah, I was sitting there like, okay.
I'm gonna be real. I made it to like level 5, and I did level 5, and I'm like, I never want to touch this.
Good job. You made it over halfway through the game.
Yay.
It's only 8 levels. Now each level's a fucking 45-minute slog.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
You're telling me that I actually played a fourth of the game, even though I played only like 2 missions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just each mission, like I said, is a 45-minute slog, and that's if you don't die.
Yeah. I don't feel bad about having only played 2 missions, by the way, just on the basis of the missions are really long, man.
These missions take as long as a Monster Hunter hunt.
Yeah, they feel a little bit longer than that, but that's, I think, just the movement. You feel very slow.
The
So slow.
The amount of checkpoints needs to be bumped.
Doubled or tripled.
I see you say that. I would honestly just say 1. For some reason, every single level, it takes forever to get to the first checkpoint. Once I get to the first one, I'm able, now I'm like, okay, I'm deep in the level now. But that's the problem. There's so many times it's like I've cleared off 2 sections of a dock. I've cleaned out multiple buildings. I've taken out a couple snipers. Like I'm on another side of a river. Excuse me.
Bless you.
Like, it's the amount of time that's passed is surely I've done something, an objective or something, and then I die because a rocket launcher no-scoped me through trees or whatever. And then the game's like, you did not reach a single checkpoint. You're back at the beginning. I'm like, oh my God.
These guys have like 30/30 vision, I swear. Just the rocket dudes. Everyone else is like stupidly perceptive, but the rocket launcher guys are like aimbotting or something.
See, that's the thing. Early on, they're annoying. They can get you. By the time you're at the end, they're firing a rocket every 5 seconds. You are dodging them constantly.
Yeah, by the way, the rockets are super slow, which is funny because like that's not how that works.
No.
But you know what? I'm starting to believe your unreliable narrator's theory here. He's just like a dumbass. The
dude's like, yeah, I was like Matrix dodging rockets, and there were just so many.
I held down the trigger, and I swear to God, my Uzi had 90 bullets. I stood there, and I just kept going.
But I only killed like 3 people. Up for me. Bump it up to a 4. I'm joking. Don't do that.
Okay. Yeah, my canon is he's an unreliable narrator. He has no idea what the fuck he's talking about.
And they actually do ship him out to do more Black Ops stuff.
Yeah, they're like, wow, this guy's so good. We got to send him back out. He might have fucked up killing Nyx twice in this already, but he can get him next time. Send him out
It's like
again.
I'm just picturing like if we ever got a continuation where he ends up killing Linux by doing the Sniper 3 mission where you shoot Hitler in the balls.
All right. So altogether, Black has a 2.25 official collecting dust rating. It's not good.
Not good.
Did not,
Not good.
enjoy.
No.
Play it for nostalgia, maybe.
Yeah,
But
well,
like
I mean,
only if you have nostalgia for it.
if that's exactly it. If you liked this game, then you're going to continue to like the game. Your rose tinted glasses are applied firmly to your face. You'll enjoy your time. But this is all of our first time, and it's not good because all of us are fans of shooters. All of us played shooters on the PS2, I'm pretty sure. So all of us played better shooters.
And as somebody who is a big Morrowind fan, I can very much excuse bad controls. And I can very much excuse games being convoluted. But there's like a limit here.
I don't think you can be
Also,
so
it's a lot easier.
I don't think your game's allowed to be so convoluted when the convolution comes from your terrible idea straight up. Let's make a shooter, but your accuracy has to be bad so we can use more bullets because that's cooler.
Yeah.
Right away, you're like, this is not a good idea.
By the way, it's Lad's choice tonight, right?
It is.
It is.
Are we gonna say what game?
Good question. I have two in mind.
All right.
Are you gonna flip a coin, or are you gonna ask us?
No.
Before you say anything, did my sister reach out?
Yes,
Okay.
and I had already had these two in mind.
All right, because I was just wondering if she did or not, because she wants to come back on.
Yeah, I know. I told her the names of the two I was thinking of, and she had no idea what they were.
Okay, so cool. She might be on, she might not.
Who knows?
One is another shooter, technically,
Ooh,
kind of,
yeah.
and the other is a little more spooky for the Halloween season, but it's
Ooh.
not a horror game.
Spec Ops: The Line.
No.
Oh, that's
Is
It's
it Area
not Spec Ops
51?
Line. What?
Is it Area 51?
I don't even know
The
what that
Xbox
is.
original. Oh man, you know what? I gotta request that.
it's
game at some
VR
point.
Chat's Spooktober mini game fest.
Okay, but
No.
unironically, I want to play VR Chat again with you guys.
I'm down anytime.
So,
Crash Bandicoot: The Wrath of Cortex.
you guys,
never
you're
gonna
not
get to it.
guessing anything close to what either of them are.
All right. Spooky one.
Get one vote for Spooky,
I'm down for Spooky as well.
2 votes for Spooky.
Love, I'm sorry.
It's not actually that spooky. It's just
more themed than it would be.
yes.
It's Monster Jam
Sure.
on the PS2.
I mean, sure.
Well, I'm already outnumbered, so you know, at this point, I could vote for Final Fantasy IX, and it would have the same level of effect.
How scary is Final Fantasy IX?
So we're going with the spooky one.
I guess so.
You know,
I
if
guess
you
so.
think comas and getting attacked by a T-Rex are scary.
Is that the hole
If-
in the face game?
Worst come to worst, we just say that we just waste points on a no. So like,
No,
worst
it's not worth that.
That's
case-
The game you have chosen is Darkest Dungeon.
Oh. Okay. Yeah.
You
Actually,
see
I
what I
would.
mean by
I've been meaning to
spooky?
play that.
Yeah,
on my own
that
console.
one is just the vibes. It's the art
Yes.
style.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm okay with
It's
that.
on PC. It's on PlayStation. You can even get it on your Switch.
I have played like 30 minutes of this game. I know a little bit about it. Tiny bit.
Okay.
In
Actually,
fact,
do I have it? I might have it on my PlayStation.
I remember I was like, oh, by the way, I've started playing Dark Century. Like, no, that was gonna be a podcast game. So I stopped playing. I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to step on your toes.
That's what you did to me with Signalis, as I stopped playing Signalis.
Okay.
We'll get there
Well,
eventually.
I now own Darkest Dungeon, so
Sweet. I already own it.
I have it on multiple platforms. So, yeah.
So, in the next 2 weeks, we will be back with Darkest Dungeon. My darkest dungeon, my darkest days. Full romance. Let's go.
What a way to end it.
Moosing in the woods and
Just,
Jackson.
My Chemical Romance, My Chemical Bromance. How can I keep this going? My Chemical Bromance.
We're
Panic
not
at the
still
Disco.
live, are we?
Just give up.
Are we still live or?
All right. I'm still bad at ending these, so we're just gonna do
Oh,
it with
okay.
that. Be gay, do crimes.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Be crimes, do